which is kind of funny. But anyway. Hey, YouTube, welcome. We're here. We're back from, we were in prison, podcast prison, basically. And we're out now. And Karen bailed us out, but more on that later. Steph, I think we're ready to go when you are.
Okay. You're listening to PotentialCast Season 7, Episode 9, Never Leave Me. Buffy's interrogation of Spike is interrupted when the Bringers attack her house, while in England, the Watchers Council comes under attack from the First.
The first what?
You know, the first.
The First Bank of... What was it? Denver?
America.
You guys can hear the theme, right?
No.
Yeah, it's very low though. I
How's
think we're
that?
hearing it through your headphones.
No, it's just low. Is that better?
No.
No.
Better.
Best?
Yep. Oh yeah.
My name is Stephanie.
I am Kimberly.
This is Gabby.
And I'm Illyrio.
Woo!
And this is Karen.
Karen.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Thank
Karen.
So, Karen, did you watch Buffy as it first aired, or what?
I first saw the season finale of season 3 and watched it from there, and then
cool.
went back and watched seasons 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. As it aired, or
As
like
it
on
is,
TNT?
so season 3, the finale of 3 and on as it aired, and then
Okay.
went back to seasons 1 and 2.
Okay, so you've been a fan ever since you were a young lass.
Right.
A wee one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost met last year, but I probably had to work or something. That's the way it always is.
Darn adult responsibility.
Oh, no. Work always
So
gets in the way.
Stupid.
All right. So Never Leave Me.
Oh my God. The good cop, bad cop scenes were fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved every second of it. This principal is super sketchy, you guys.
Yeah.
And Jonathan.
Boom.
Gabby, what did you think about Jonathan's early demise?
It was sad.
Really?
Not really, no. Again, any of those people, that's where I tend to tune out a little bit, so there's one less that I have to do.
Yeah. I think by the end, I was just kind of... I'm not liking the vagaries. I don't think this mystery is very compelling.
No.
I think
Oh,
they're
I'm
just
kind
trying to
of-
do too much setup. You know what I mean? It's too much foreshadowing. They want people to be like, "What's going on? I have to watch next week." But
Well, we have to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean? What vagaries?
We don't know who actually is impersonating these people. We don't know exactly what the point is. It's not very clear. I like a big bad with a very clear motivation.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what I'm saying.
You like a more out there, out and about big bad?
Yeah, like the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they've stretched it out too long. It's like they've stretched out for half a season, and now we're getting going with we're getting to the real meat of the season.
Totally. Yeah, I think what's his name being held captive is great.
Spike?
And no, the other guy.
Oh.
Andrew.
Yeah.
You remember back a couple of episodes they mentioned, maybe we can be friends with the Slayer. We can hang out at her house.
That was hilarious. That
He's
was
hanging
really-
out at her house.
Yeah, now he's hanging out. Almost literally. Anya was being overzealous, which was great. I thought it was pretty awesome. I don't know about Dawn's methods with regards to covering for Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that makes much sense. I don't think it's very believable.
Mm-mm.
But
Is anyone else? Are you amused by or
No.
irritated
Yes.
by all of the nerdy pop culture references that are flying around?
I'm sure.
It's almost like he can't speak without. I get that's his frame of reference for stuff, but I'm feeling like it's a little too much. Again, it's just one more thing that makes me kind of tune out a little bit with any of the remaining stooges around.
It's a lot. Like what if it's line after line? It does seem to get repetitive. Too much of it.
Rim shot, and, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Well, there's an Iron Fist. Any other time when I watched this, Iron Fist would have went right. I would have thought he means like he's literally his Iron Fist. But that's a Defender character. I know that now.
yeah. Yeah, I think I clued in on that as well for the same reason as you said. Listening to the Defenders podcast, the promo of which you heard before we actually started, folks. Yeah, I think Andrew walking around in that long black coat was really lame until the joke at the butcher shop.
Oh!
I promise I won't steal that line, that quote, but oh my god, that made it so much sense, and it also dates this quite a bit because we were already in sequel mode at that point for that franchise.
Was that Spike's coat? Did he steal Spike's coat at some point? Because Spike is not wearing his coat.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't
think it's
know.
Just a replica.
Okay, he
I
just
think
wants to be
it's
bad.
just a replica. It just looks like Spike's coat. Yeah.
Because black leather means you're a badass.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Was it? I thought it meant that you liked wearing dead cows on you.
Oh.
Which is totally cool. I mean, I'd rather wear a dead cow than a live one.
That would just be awkward wearing a live one.
Yeah. Unless you're a Bolton. I'm almost done the audiobook, you guys. I got like less than 2 hours left. I'm very excited. Where are my notes? I wrote down notes. I can't find them because we were going to record this 4 years ago. I can't find the notes.
I found my chicken scratch and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, what was I going to say there?
Okay, the entity that is pretending to be Warren explains that he can't take corporeal form.
Mm-hmm. Interesting theory. Okay, go on.
And
Nice.
then
Okay,
when
I found my notes. It only has a quote in it. So I'm good, guys.
so Warren is trying to talk to Andrew. He can't get through to him, so he morphs into Jonathan.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, so Jonathan's for sure dead. I thought for a second, Jonathan's going to pop back somewhere. No, he's for sure dead.
Where's the ghost monster? Where's the smoke monster?
What's a smoke monster? I have to be the one to say it because Kim can't get away with that one.
And they need blood, right? That's the other thing. That's why he supposed to kill him.
Not enough
To get
blood
the
from
blood, it didn't work.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan's
Not enough.
anemic.
Fun fact.
Yeah. So this principal is trying to act all tough and intimidate these little twerps. And then all of a sudden he takes a very interesting turn and threatens to call the popo And did you guys ever get in trouble and were sent to the principal's office and the principal basically tried to scare the living bejesus out of you?
No.
No, but
No,
this is
not the one time I went. No.
This is particularly relevant with me right now because my kid in school is realizing I have been living my life for 12 years with school, my life revolving around school, and it really doesn't mean that much.
Mm-hmm.
Your record really doesn't mean that much.
No, he didn't try to, because I only got in trouble, principal's office trouble, once, and it was like 3 weeks before graduation, and it was just because I happened to be a tertiary character in this other drama that was happening, and I'm really disappointed in you. I've never seen you in here before, and you're a good student. Don't let it happen again if I'm like, all right. I think maybe they may have thrown out you want to walk on the stage and get the diploma with your friends, but it's like, I don't care.
Oh, please.
Whatever.
I think I spoke to my principal once.
Nerd.
No, unless he was like standing or she at one time was standing at the door, didn't have a sex change, just two different principals, and just waving the students in. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because your school is so large or because you flew under the radar?
I think, my high school had 1,500 students.
Holy crap.
Wow.
My
high school had 365.
Yeah, we had like 91 in our class.
Yeah. Not 1,500. What am I talking about? We had 700. It was 1,500, and they split it up into two schools because it got too big.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Must be amazing not living under a dictatorship. Sorry, folks. Little resentful here. Never mind.
Yeah, small schools can be. I remember in high school our math teacher going on a diatribe. Is that the word?
Probably.
About how our principal was very strict. He was like a military guy, and our math teacher going on about how if it's too strict an environment, it crushes creativity.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I can see that because, like, I was in the band, and it was a very strict environment because there was so many of us. He had to be pretty strict with us.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing my daughter in theater, and it's daylight and dark, the difference between how they're allowed. If we go on trips, they are allowed so much freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's the difference between a truly creative environment and a strict, rigid environment.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was boring. Let's go on. That went nowhere.
Yeah, and then we're at the Summers house, and Spike is in Buffy's room. They're going to try to give him some methadone, some pig's blood.
Huh.
And they're going to try to get him off his addiction, and who better to help out than a former addict herself, a recovering addict, Willow. She's going to go volunteer and go get some, because she's got to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Andrew trying to catch and stick a pig.
If I never have to watch that
was awkward
sequence ever again, I will be happy.
So
awkward.
We all know the movie Babe.
Yes.
There was also another popular pig movie that wasn't Babe. You guys remember it?
Charlotte's Web?
No, it was Gordy.
Oh, no.
Oh.
And in 2000, I was in Mexico with my lovely almost wife, Christine. And we were on a bus, and they were playing a movie on the bus, on the little TVs. And it was Gordy, dubbed in Spanish. And it was funny, because every character would say, Gordy! And it was
so
awesome.
Is it like the low-rent version of
Basically,
Babe?
It's the low-rent version of Babe. It's like that studio that makes knockoff movies. I forget what they're called. But they make like kind of almost movies about stuff that basically reproduce them. It was basically their version.
Never heard of it.
And yeah. So he didn't want to kill the pig.
Aww.
I wouldn't want to.
Or you couldn't kill the pig.
And then we have what I think is a very surprising moment, which is Andrew's at the butcher shop. And all I'm thinking is, oh my God, Willow's probably going to go to the same butcher shop. And then we have a great quote. And then Willow spots Andrew, and Andrew spots Willow spotting him. And I didn't know what was going to happen. Did you guys think that Willow was going to turn all evil Willow? And
No.
No?
No, that was a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
Kind of awesome,
exciting.
though.
Yeah.
It would have been fantastic. Andrew
What
is
else
short.
happened?
He's even shorter than Willow.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm like watching it right now. That man is shorter than Willow.
Yeah, and Allison Hannigan seems like a petite person.
I thought he was the tallest of the trio. Honestly,
No,
I can't
that
even
was,
tell you.
I think
that
Warren's
was
pretty tall.
Douche McGee,
Yeah.
Warren.
But I honestly, I pay so little attention to those three now. But yeah, pretty cool.
And then the fun hijinks begin, right?
Hi,
We're
James.
basically
What
trying
happened?
to figure out what's going on. What do you know? Who does number 2 work for? All this stuff. And then it gets kind of ridiculous with the beatings and the intimidation.
I thought that went a little too far.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not funny if they're trying to be funny. But
it was a little bit overdone, I'd say.
Well, there's a lot of things in here that is supposed to be funny that is not. There's a lot of lines that are supposed to be quirky, I guess.
I think they just missed.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they're right on, but this time they really just missed.
It was like, okay, here's the formula. Joke goes here. Joke goes here. It just, I don't know. That's how I felt anyway.
Hey, Gabby, remember Bra Watch?
Yes.
I think we should start Tool Belt Watch.
Okay.
Because Dawn had a really nice light beige tool belt in the scene where they brought Warren in, where Willow brought Warren in, and I know that in the next episode we're recording next time, Xander's wearing a tool belt that has one of those kind of brown burgundy-ish colors to it. Yeah.
I was thinking about like cool shirts with deer heads on them watch. The whole episode I kept thinking, I really like Anya's shirt, that's really kind of cool, and then I realized what it was. I'm like, oh wait a minute, that's just strange. I don't think I care for that very much. And it's like a
very
hunting
deer
shirt.
shirt.
Yeah, deer shirt.
Maybe it's her homage to the reindeer games. No, what is it? The Deer Hunter.
Or when Willow did the terrible thing to the deer. Aww.
Oh yeah.
Oh, too soon.
Okay, Kim, Gabby, Steph, Karen, did you as children have that juice in a bag?
Huh? Yeah,
in a
Capri
bag.
Sun, right?
Pardon?
What, juice in a bag like Capri Sun?
Well, I never had Capri Sun. I don't know if that's what it was called, but up here we had the juice in a bag, and it was basically sugar water with food coloring.
Yeah.
And it would come with a straw, and you'd pierce the bag, and you would drink the bag, right?
No, never had it.
You never had that?
Capri Sun, yes.
Okay, Capri Sun. So it was probably Capri
Capri
Winter.
Capri Sun is more like it's in a rectangular foil thingy, right? Is that what I'm?
No, it's in like a pouch. It's like a
Ours was
foil
literally
pouch.
a transparent plastic bag.
It's a clear plastic bag.
I mean, it was a pouch, but it might as well have been a plastic bag, and that's exactly what I flash back to when Buffy was holding the bag of blood and Spike was sucking it down. Because sometimes you lose your fucking straw.
Oh no.
So what are you gonna
Well,
do?
in the Capri Sun, you would punch through the other side.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I didn't have a bag of juice, but then what it reminded a clear bag of juice. But what it reminded me of is when you try to do like if you're doing like makeshift cake decorating, and you take the frosting and you put it in a plastic bag, and then you cut the corner.
Yeah, you get a giant Ziploc, you cut the corner, and then you realize, oh, I cut this too big. Why did I ever think I needed it this big? And then you realize, why am I decorating a cake? I'm going to go to the grocery store and buy one.
Exactly.
All I thought watching that was, this looks disgusting.
What I thought was, this is so undignified. This is so, like, demeaning to Spike.
I just thought it was very... I'm looking at it and I went, this is, like I said out loud, that's
It was
disgusting.
really gross.
But
Yeah,
didn't get
it
it
was
on
really
him.
disgusting.
It was kind of ridiculously neat.
Yeah, but I was just like, it just looked the way he was suckling at the
It looked
teeth, and I was like,
terrible.
this looks so gross.
Yeah, it looked really bad.
It's like, get me out of here.
No, exactly. It was a little weird. I will say. And she didn't even warm it up for him, right?
Oh, she doesn't care.
Maybe. I don't know.
No.
Geez, even warm up True Blood for Christ's sake.
Zap it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way Angel does it.
And then
This is why Angel is far superior a series.
That's why right there, because he microwaves his blood. I don't know, is microwaving your blood really a good idea? It sounds like as awful as an idea as microwaving coffee.
I don't drink coffee, but when I see people microwave it, I'm like, that's just really just make another cup.
Sometimes you
Right?
have to be frugal.
Speaking of coffee, this is totally off topic. I'm going to go on a tangent for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Has anyone tried bulletproof coffee
No.
No.
Is this the butter?
with the butter and the MCT oil?
No.
Because my friend tried it and she's lost like 20 pounds. And I'm like, I need to go on this.
Oh, I need this now.
Well,
I'm going to have to do this.
I recommend eating less and working out more.
But that's what she does. She eats less.
And drink the coffee.
You drink the coffee first thing in the morning, right? And because it's got the butter and the MCT oil, which is basically like coconut oil, right?
Right.
And it fills you up, honestly, for 6, maybe 7 hours. She's like, I can go that whole time without eating because she's not hungry. Because it just fills her up.
What's worked for me, talking long-term filling up as a breakfast, is have a portion of Greek yogurt, some granola with dark chocolate and almonds in it, and a cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'm basically getting the same stuff.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I don't have to put butter in my coffee.
Well,
it's the same as like cream. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I've been making these like in muffin cups. I add basically that like rolled the Irish cut oats with a little bit of coconut oil, some coconut. I put a tiny little bit of coconut extract, and then I add like applesauce and a couple of other things, and just sprinkle a little bit, just a couple of little mini dark chocolate cubes on the top, because just that little taste is enough with a cup of coffee and maybe a banana or something. And that's been like I've been, this is bad, but it's been filling me up enough where I've kind of been forgetting to have lunch every now and again because I haven't been eating it.
Wow. I wish I could forget to eat. That's my goal.
But yeah, I'll have like almonds or like fruit or something.
These scenes with Warren and Xander and Anya were really boring, weren't they?
Yeah.
I was really quite bored by them.
I like the dynamic of, the good cop, bad cop thingy.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed, and of course
too,
the spin Anya's the bad cop. But I think it just went on too long. Like, we could have got that in one scene.
I was gonna say the first scene was fine, but then they added the second scene of it. They didn't need.
I like the idea of Xander and Anya working together.
Yeah. I was thinking about that while I was watching the next episode today. Sorry to spoil you guys, but yeah. And I was thinking, how do people that have been together, almost married, be civil with each other? Because I don't think I could even be in the same room with somebody that I was supposed to marry and they left me stranded at the altar. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, it's television, and I understand. But it caught me off guard today. It took me out of the story for a second because I was just like, how is she even looking at him?
Well,
but
I don't know. Well, much like Elsa, she let it go. But he's
much faster than I could.
But he's I still stick with my fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I can't let it go, but she can let it go. I guess for the greater good.
Oh, for sure.
Putting their past in the past.
Yeah, I guess they are for the greater good, but I would feel like I didn't have any self-respect if I was still hanging around somebody that didn't want me.
Yeah.
I think I would be anywhere but hanging around him.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I'm probably petty and childish and immature.
The thing is, Anya has no friends.
Well, I was going to say, she doesn't really have anywhere else to go, so...
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, because Helfrich's done.
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't even thinking about Helfrich. Oh man.
She's start a new life. But...
She's a demon again, right?
Yep. But
no.
She's human, right?
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, she's back to human.
I was gonna say she can just start up in a new town, but I guess she can't.
Well, she can if she's human too, but.
Well, true. Be a little bit easier with some powers, though, right?
Yeah. But when Sunnydale keeps expanding
skills. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so hard to leave. Booming with the booming economy and the new mall and the new school and in the Hellmouth and all.
Why would you leave?
Why would you?
Okay, Spike and Buffy. Buffy is all has been so interested in finding Spike, getting him back here, and getting him off the human blood because he's been on the human blood for so long. So she's detoxing him, and he tells her to tie him tight or somebody will die. Mm-hmm. And he vamps out, and he gets over that. Well, then they have the discussion about oh my gosh.
Pain, right?
Yeah.
Pain and
about how she asked him how he got his soul, and he vaguely tells her about the demon trials, and they talk about that Buffy hates herself,
right? Yeah,
and took it out on him. And she's like, "Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you."
And then something actually happens.
I'm guessing you really like that part, Kim. Being sarcastic, of course.
I've tuned out even to this part of the conversation.
As soon as Steph started saying Spike and Buffy, Kim's like,
yeah, because I feel like
we were talking.
This is such a filler episode, and I feel like the only thing I can grasp onto in this episode is that Buffy and Spike are finally talking. And he's trying to help her understand why he went and got his soul, and she's trying to understand what he went through to get it. Go ahead. Y'all go on. I'm done.
Yes.
Like, I have 3 notes. I have Robin Wood is like Robin Hood, and I wrote stunt Spike is gigantic. And the first. Those are my 3 notes I have for this episode. You could see, it's meh, in my opinion. Meh. Meh.
At some point, Andrew, do they have Andrew tied up?
But
Yeah.
then Xander loosens him and
And-
playing good cop, and then Anya
He's
comes
giving
in
him
and
the
punches
water.
him, and then turns around and punches Xander, and then Netflix caption says mouthing words, and then all of a sudden, eventually, after the conversation that Buffy and Spike have, Buffy leaves him to go see what's going on,
Mhm.
and then other Buffy, not Buffy, shows up, and then
Mhm.
Or
convinces
other
no,
Spike
not Spike,
shows
yeah,
up.
other Spike shows up, not Spike shows up, and convinces Spike to break through the wall like the Kool-Aid guy.
Mhm.
I was half expecting him to go, yeah, ooh yeah.
That was unexpected. That was
That
pretty
was
cool.
very unexpected. But you know what? It's a make-work project for Xander's construction company.
Yes.
It is hilarious. Yeah, and then Spike is. Why do I keep calling Spike Buffy? Spike starts biting Andrew. Buffy comes in and throws him off, and then we see other Spike that no one else can see but Spike, and
Mhm.
you know.
So when somebody is seeing somebody else,
Mhm.
can that other, whatever the big bad morphing into whatever, can they be seen by more than one person?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just the person.
I think that based on next time's episode, yes.
That's what I was hinting at. But
but not with regards to necessarily anything that we haven't can't confirm. I mean right now up until now no.
yeah.
Up until now no. But I think that why not? You know, I mean if you have the power to take on a non-corporeal form of someone who is dead potentially or someone who is bad potentially or whoever you want. I mean, I don't know. It seems a little odd. It seems a little odd that you can only be seen by one person, you know?
And when they take form of somebody, because the person, they're trying to manipulate the person, would it be someone they know, or could it just be any random person?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably someone they know, because the impact is greater.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's like Artie, but bigger.
All right, so they start talking about Spike as being manipulated by a trigger. Didn't they discuss this already?
No, this is just because we were going to record this 4 years
this
ago,
one.
Steph.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then asked Xander, is this because of your military training? And he's like, yeah, in every single movie I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. Seemed like I saw this a
Yeah.
month ago. Okay.
Yeah. And it's true. It's like the trigger word. I think I watched something recently that had that in it. But yeah. It's just one of these things that, conveniently someone thinks of the exact thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're basically in a situation where they're all talking about Spike, and then Spike gets kidnapped? What?
Dun dun dun.
And then Spike gets taken where? Under the school, of course.
To the Hellmouth?
Yes. And guys, was that giant metal thing there this whole time? Like,
No,
Yeah,
Jonathan.
and
when
they
they
built over
rebuilt
it.
the school, I mean,
No,
had built over
Jonathan
it.
and Andrew dug it up.
yeah, but
Right.
it didn't look like it was very deeply hidden. Plus, would there be a dirt floor like the Andrew and Jonathan? Concrete?
Yes,
I mean, I
they
know
did.
concrete floors in basements are deceptively thin. They're actually not as thick as one might think. But anyway, SOD.
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 SOD. Ha! Yeah,
It's a great song.
it is really nice. Hey, we have 4 viewers.
Yeah, I'm sorry, viewers.
No, don't
So
be sorry.
before Spike gets kidnapped, he and Buffy have another really deep conversation.
Another conversation?
What did they say to
Yes.
each other? because I was not paying attention.
He talks about how that she really needs to kill him because
Yeah.
he turned again and he can't. She doesn't know the real him. And why are you keeping me around? And then they have that whole conversation about that. And she believes in him. You don't see it, but I do. I believe in you, Spike.
Yeah,
That's what she says.
And that made me think of when Cassie said, you know, she'll tell you. Is that what we've been waiting on? Yeah. Is that what Spike needs? Is for her to believe
Spike has
in him?
low self-esteem.
Yeah.
He needs Buffy's approval. He's constantly searching for external approval because he's full of remorse and self-loathing.
Yeah.
And then he gets kidnapped, and then he gets taken to the Hellmouth, and then he gets suspended, and then he has not suspended like by the principal suspended. Gets lifted up, and there's these cuts, and there's really icky blood pouring through those cuts.
Okay, so they needed Jonathan's blood and Spike's blood?
I think they just needed
Jonathan and more blood. Right?
Jonathan didn't have enough blood, so it didn't
His
work.
blood was
because
lame.
Jonathan didn't have enough blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they needed
blood.
It didn't matter what blood?
I guess not. Because I can't imagine that pig would have been enough blood to... Because that was their first choice. And then I guess I don't know what they were going to do if he succeeded in killing Andrew. Because the first Buffy says in the... that I was going to... Well, I guess she did say that she was going to bleed Andrew, but Spike looks better. So, I guess that was so it was the pig, and then Andrew, and then Spike. They were trying to get to open the portal. Or open
right on.
That is.
And then, all of a sudden, we have some CGI.
Well, they figure out that it's who it is, right?
Oh yeah, and then we go to the CGI.
Right.
Yeah, so Buffy remembers that it's the first.
Right. That she
knows
was
everyone
who the
who was
are.
watching at the time, Karen, going, what?
Well, me especially, because I didn't see the first 2 seasons, so I never watched Amends, and I can't imagine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if people really remembered. That was 5 years later.
Yeah.
Someone in the writers' room remembered.
You guys,
The first. Because what the first? I was like, I thought,
so
this
I
is
definitely
the first
had no
vampire?
idea, but.
That's what I thought. This is the first vampire.
I
What's
was
going on?
confused like that too, Kim. I thought that this Nosferatu guy that they pulled up was the quote-unquote first.
The first.
Because it looked like an early proto-vampire. But in fact, no, we're talking about something that apparently was first encountered in which episode, Karen and Steph?
Amends.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched that. So which one is that? Is that the Christmas episode with the snow in Sunnydale?
When they try to get Angel to kill himself.
Yeah.
And Jenny comes back, but it's not her.
I get it now. Yes.
Yeah.
I get. That's pretty awesome.
Why is this?
Yeah. And then we get the CGI, and then
we go
out.
to yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now was this one played by Willem Dafoe? Or Gary Oldman? Or... No. Just Randall McRanderson.
You're asking me a question.
No, not really.
Prepared.
It's not.
It's not really a question.
No, you don't need to bring any fun facts to the episode. We're okay. Yeah. So anyone else hugely disappointed by that? I was hugely disappointed that was the.
That was what was under there.
Yeah. And again, as I say this, right, I now understand that it's the first, and the first called up that vampire, but I was convinced that this thing coming up was the first because I didn't remember Amends at all, and I haven't rewatched it yet. So at this point, I'm like, really, that's the big bad? The big bad is this guy? Like, ugh, he's just ugly. You know, I'm like, all right, he kind of looks like the Master a bit.
Yeah.
Like he has a lot of the master look. I guess the master was so old that he, I guess, resembled one of those proto vampires, maybe.
Because I thought that's what it was going to be, the master. And I was like, oh, this is the first. And I'm like, again, the first what?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it was interesting.
Well, and the Uber vamps, or the how do you pronounce it? The Turok and Turok.
The Uruk-hai?
Turok-Khan? Whatever. Shoot, I'm having problems.
No.
It's based on the Gurarg.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is the mutant enemy guy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. It's like a little vanity production.
Aww.
Being so cute and self-referential.
Gurarg.
That's really funny, actually. I really like that. Yeah. I think that's great.
Oh, what about the Watchers Council headquarters?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Gabby, I'll let you handle this one.
I had to stop myself, and I know, like, thank God it was over at that point, but I couldn't stop laughing because to me it looked exactly like the headquarters of what used to be ISIS on Archer blowing up.
Yeah, it's one of these corner buildings.
The corner building. At one point,
dry cleaners on the ground floor too. Did you notice that, Gabby?
Yes.
No, that'd be awesome.
Oh my god! Yeah, I almost pulled up an episode at the same time and did a side by side. I'm like, I could not think that.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's what saved the episode for me.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hey, we have feedback.
Yay!
Let's hear from Moira Brown.
Yay!
Let's.
And I think here she is.
Hey, PotentialCast, it's Moira. You sneaky people leapt ahead by 2 episodes while I just turned my back for 1 minute. Crazy nuts. However, I've caught up to you now, just finished watching Never Leave Me. Stephanie, thank you during one of the previous episodes for recommending that we go back and watch Season 3's episode Amends, which is the one in which the concept of was first introduced. I'd forgotten most of that. I vaguely remembered seeing these guys, these kind of eyeless guys before, but man, that was literally years ago, so I forgot a lot of the detail. But I see the parallels. Now I get it. Back in episode 3, the First wanted Angel to kill Buffy for them. In season 7, we see we think these other girls are slayers around the world being slaughtered by the Harbingers, and they wanted to get Spike to kill Buffy. So they want to get the slayers out of the way, I guess, so that the First can come through the Helm Wall and rule the world, presumably. So, okay, now we know what we're up against. And it's really cool to think that all this time, that when Spike has been hallucinating, that's really been the First. Just like Angel was seeing Jenny Carpenter back in the day. So, very cool. So, poor Spike gets mentally and physically tortured in this episode, and Buffy, believes in him. Once again, she has a similar kind of speech like she had with Angel, in which she says, "No, I'm not going to give up on you. I have faith in you," which I thought was really very well done. Some comic bits I liked. Xander and Anya as good cop and bad cop. I just like seeing the two of them working together, and yeah, that was my positive. Willow running into Andrew. Wow, she restrained herself amazingly well. And I just like seeing everybody working together again. There's a good rhythm to things. Giles better bloody well be okay. I'm sure he was okay. There's no way. But toward the end of the episode, when and the council was meeting, and I felt like we were in Churchill's war room or something, and he's giving that radio address about, fight on the beaches, never surrender. That's what it felt like at Churchill's speech. And then, boom, the entire building explodes. So what? We got, the Watchers gone, and most of the other Slayers around the world are destroyed. And this is really going to come down to Buffy and the Scoobies to save the world, is my prediction. That's where I think we are headed. Anyhow, really enjoying this latter half of this season, loving how things are ramping up. Can I just ask you guys something, though? I'm not totally sold on the Buffy self-hatred thing. I get it, she feels some superiority over her friends, because really she is physically superior and she senses things they cannot, etc., etc. But can somebody explain to me what she's supposed to have self-loathing about that would have made her want to be with Spike and people that hurt her? Because I don't quite buy that, and I don't know if I'm just being dense, or if the show hasn't fleshed it out well enough for me to get it. So, yeah, chime in. Somebody explain to me in what way she's supposed to loathe herself. Because I don't get it. Okay, enough of my thoughts. Woohoo, here we go, rocking on, zipping through toward the end of season 7. Finally, yeah. So, yeah, till next time. Bye.
Thanks, Moira.
I guess the reason Buffy hates herself is, I don't know, because she hates being alive. She hates that she came back to life. Right, Karen?
Yeah, and it seemed like in season 6 it was more she was using Spike to feel. I mean, that was her whole line, right? It was, this isn't real, but I want to feel, and that's what it was. It was less about, and then I guess as the season went on, it was more about hating herself, but she was more hating herself because of what she was doing with him. Because she was just doing that because she was so depressed about being back. So it was interesting that they changed it into hating herself like this season. I thought that was a quick change, or it was a little bit of a off from what they were trying to do the season before. So I agree with Moira. I don't really get it. Why she would hate herself.
And Moira's so perceptive. Here's from my fun facts. Travers' words are quoted from a September 9th, 1941 speech by Winston Churchill, who in turn was paraphrasing the final 2 lines of the William Ernest Henley poem Invictus. So that's true. This was the last episode to feature Harris Yulin as Quentin Travers. It was aired on the same night as Yulin's first appearance on 24. In classic,
oh my God, 24.
Yeah. In classic Whedon-esque irony, the Watchers Council is wiped out right as they come to the conclusion of their series-long arc, just as they realize out is their duty. This doesn't make sense. Just as they realize out is their duty to provide the Slayer with support rather than tell her what to do from afar with no regard for her personal safety, and are about to travel to Sunnydale to finally assume their intended role, they are destroyed.
It's about time they put their big boy pants on, and then
the headquarters of the Watchers Council was destroyed, killing many of the Watchers, including Lydia, Nigel, Philip, and Quentin Travers. It is later revealed that, I will not say, however, Wesley refers to the Watchers Academy being in Hampshire rather than in London, so presumably the organization is not entirely destroyed. But I assume that that everybody's being taken out. Yeah, that it was just kind of it insinuated that it's everybody's gone. Andrew would be tied up, knocked out, bitten by a vampire in this episode, as nearly every Scooby has. And they refer to the musical, and oh, this is interesting. Willow's enormous powers, even if she is not fully in control of them, force the writers to figure out a way to keep her from being a part of every fight. Here, she is immediately knocked unconscious when the Bringers attack.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
So she's the new Giles?
Bad she doesn't have glasses to clean.
Yeah. Ray wrote
She's befuddled.
He writes, I think it's an okay episode, but nothing great. I think your enjoyment of this episode will probably depend on how funny you find Andrew and how invested you are in the Buffy-Spike relationship. And its main point is kind of just to reveal to us and the Scoobies who the big bad is. We now know that we are dealing with the first evil, a villain that Buffy first encountered in Season 3's Amends. In that episode, Angel is driven crazy by the first, taking the form of Jenny Calendar, in pretty much the same way that it is doing now to Spike. What is happening with Spike makes much more sense once you know who is behind it and you remember that bit of history. I don't know if it's just me, but I couldn't help but be happy to see Quentin Travers and the rest of the council get blown up. Yeah, I was pretty happy about that too, Ray. They have always been more of an impediment to Buffy and the Scoobies than a help. Good riddance, although I did find that moment pretty shocking the first time I watched. For me, though, my two favorite things were seeing Xander and Anya play bad cop, worse cop.
That's more like it.
And seeing Willow come face-to-face with Andrew after she hunted him and Jonathan last year. I was really surprised that Willow kept her cool, especially when Andrew brought up Tara and tried to say that they were even because she killed Warren. Overall, which, by the way, is, oh my god, we're going to have to take a moment and talk about the homoeroticism things and just painting Warren in a certain way. Anyway, back to the email. Overall, I find this episode to be entertaining in spots, but a lot of moving the chess pieces into place. Revealing the first as the big bad is a big step forward, though. I'll give it 7 out of 10. And he wrote us something else, which is very interesting. Hey guys, forgot something on my first feedback. I wanted to mention that this episode was written by Drew Goddard, and that it's weirdly very timely since his new show Daredevil on Netflix was just released last week. 2 very good reviews and is getting a ton of press. Now, I have seen the first 3 episodes and I love it. You should listen to the Defenders.
I heard that the first 3 episodes are only 3 episodes worth watching.
Pardon?
Really?
I heard that the first 3 episodes are the only ones worth watching.
That's not what I heard.
That's from someone that I work with, so don't take it.
Oh, I think it's all solid. Like, every episode's good.
Ray continues, Goddard is also the person who co-wrote Cabin in the Woods with Joss, as well as writing for Angel and Lost. I'm only 3 episodes into Daredevil, but I think it's great. It's dark and violent at times, but the dialogue and banter is very clever and witty and feels very much like something Joss would write.
Cool. Maybe I'll check it out.
Let's see. Missy wrote us an email. Hey, Gax, it's been a while, so I thought I would send feedback in.
Do it.
Xander and Anya are perfection. I love their good cop, bad cop shtick and the interrogating of Andrew. Spike is all shirtless and sexy, so that's a massive plus. Principal Wood has a strange little scene with Jonathan's dead body. Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about that, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
That was
like one of the only parts that was really awesome. And he doesn't seem to react like it's normal to him.
Right.
I just don't get what this guy is.
Yeah.
Is he good or is he bad?
That's weird.
Is he going to be an ally or? I think he will be. I think he knows that Buffy is the Slayer. Anyways, that's one of my theories. Go on.
Took 9 episodes, but now we know who the bad guy is. It's the First, and his robed, no-eyed weirdos, the Harbingers. I've never liked Amends, which is the first and only time until now that we've seen the First, so I'm not a huge fan or even a minor fan. Sorry, folks. This is the problem with having everything connected to each other on iOS. You can be recording a podcast and everything starts ringing. I may start that part over. I've never liked Amends, which is the first and only time until now that we've seen the First, so I'm not a huge fan or even a minor fan of this reveal. It's just blah to me. And then something I've been wishing for seasons now happens. The awful pricks that constitute the Watchers Council get themselves blown the fuck up.
Of course.
And we shall rejoice at their demise. I hate them. I don't think I even care about the semi-nice Watchers that probably died alongside the horrible ones. LOL from Simone. Tomas writes too. Hey Gax, welcome to our brand new game show. Who can pretend to be the evilest? Our first two contestants are Andrew Wells and Willow Rosenberg. I realized I can't continue that bit without stealing all their wonderful quotes from you guys, so I'm just going to get straight to my point, which is that scene and pretty much everything involving Andrew in this episode is freaking amazing. Biggest laugh so far this season for me. I really want to steal all the quotes in the pig scene too. I have nothing more to add at this time. Razzle dazzle, Tomas.
Razzle dazzle, bitches.
Well, Tomas really liked it. That's good.
Dazzle.
And a last email from Bruce. Picks up shortly after the last episode ends, night 3. My original email was getting really long, so I scrapped it to just mention some story parallels in play during this episode. The obvious one is the Spike Angel story. 4 years ago, rather than risk turning evil and killing again, Angel chose to kill himself. Am I a thing worth saving, he asks? 18-year-old Buffy couldn't answer that question. Her response revolved around how much she loved Angel and needed him. The powers that be apparently didn't think much of that answer either, so they sent a snowstorm. When Spike asks that same question of 22-year-old Buffy, she doesn't hesitate. You are, she says, because someone trying to do good, trying to be better, deserves help. The Spike Anya stories have been running in parallel for a couple of seasons. Two outsiders in love with a Scooby. When that doesn't work out the way they wanted, each has to make some big decisions which lead to both of them preferring to die rather than continue killing. Self-sacrifice is something Buffy understands, so she is on their side now. Their mirror this episode is Andrew, a self-proclaimed evil genius who never did anything wrong, so he doesn't need to be punished. Andrew just wants to hang out with his dead friends. Ends during night 4. Sleep tight, Bruce. Well, thanks for your feedback, everyone.
Woo!
Awesome. So let's talk about this principal and his reaction to finding dead Jonathan.
His non-reaction?
I was going to say he didn't have one.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. All right.
Yeah.
Any more points?
They continued.
That's right.
All right. Hey, let's start rating.
It's one of those things like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying that's what you were saying earlier. It's taking too long for us to figure this stuff out. So it's been so many episodes to try to figure out what is he, and this is we still don't know. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that?
Not super clear. And again, to me personally, not super compelling yet. Had I been, here's the thing, guys. I didn't realize what the first was until the following episode, which we'll get to at some time. So, and even then when it was brought up, I was like, oh, yeah, that episode that Steph said we should rewatch. It wasn't that thing, because it was so not memorable. Anyway, we'll get to that.
I think it's also so long ago.
That's true. Millions of years ago.
If we really watched an episode a week, it would be... or even an episode every other day would be fresher in our heads.
Yeah, if we were mainlining this stuff. Sure. Well, if no one has any other points, how about...
I'm just wondering if people who watched the show as it aired remembered Amends. Or if they're like, oh, yeah. I don't know.
Well, Steph, when you watched it for the first time, did you click right away?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I really don't remember, but I don't think so.
Unless they're like super diehard fans.
I probably had Robin prompting me on it,
Right.
Go back and watch such and such episode, yeah. I don't really remember.
Yeah, but that sucks that they're gonna bring back such an old reference that
no one remembers.
You're gonna go back and watch this one. Well, why should I have to?
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah. I think they were just tying everything up, and they're like, "Well, we'll bring this one back."
That's a good point.
You know, I wonder if it's because Drew Goddard came on staff this season, and he's bringing up his fandom with him, that he was like, I love that episode. Let's explain that a little more. Or if it was just like how they put ideas up on the board and they leave them for later. This was like something that was left for all these seasons that carried over, that were like, well, we'll get to that later, and finally season after season after season later it came back. I don't know. I'd love to know if anybody would look that up or has any knowledge.
Send your findings to PotentialCast@gmail.com.
So let's rate this sucker. Karen. Karen is gone.
No!
No, she's still there. Where's she going?
I don't see her.
Oh.
I will re-invite her just in case, because this is a silly system and you can't necessarily get back into it.
It says she's still on.
Not on my end.
Oh.
She crashed.
Oh.
Was she back? No?
There, here she comes.
Oh, she is.
Oh, I'm back.
Hey, you didn't miss much.
Yeah. So, Karen, would you like to rate the episode?
Yes.
Yay.
Sure. I did enjoy most of it, although it did, like we had said, it did drag. But it did, then at the very end, like everything seemed to speed up and we got a lot of things answered. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 very, very powerful she-witches.
Nice.
Hopefully someone else didn't already use that.
Well, you're first to rate. So
nope.
Oh, okay.
Gabby.
This was not a very memorable episode to me. Apparently, I watched it many, many moons ago, and when I rewatched it the other day, I'm like, oh, that was this episode? The Archer thing made me giggle, which was only for me. The bad cop, good cop thing was amusing, but it's not all enticing enough. And then I felt stupid. Oh, it's the first. I don't remember who the hell that was. I'm not feeling a sense of urgency. I don't give a shit. This is what we were waiting for the whole time. And then, so I'm like, eh. So I'm going to kick it old school with some angel ratings on a scale of Snoresville to hell yeah. I give it a meh.
Nice. I'm so happy I don't keep a spreadsheet right now. Kim?
Meh. I agree. It was like a 6 Patrick Swayze's out of 10. Like, I was not. I watched it, I think also because leading up to watching it, I think we're like, well, we were tipped that, oh, this is kind of a filler episode, so we didn't treat it as important as other ones, I feel, anyways. And watching it, I was just sort of like, okay, yeah. And like we were discussing earlier, all the jokes to me kind of missed. I thought Andrew was pretty funny, but he's kind of turning into what bothered me about Anya before, where it's like he's got the one-liner and he's going to say something silly just because that's his character. And it was formulaic in that sense. However, 6, not to drag on, 6 out of 10.
I thought that there were some moments that were kind of funny and I appreciated, and we obviously got the reveal of the big bad, kind of. If you're going to reveal the big bad to be this thing called the First, and then you have this vampire pop out of a medallion encrusted under a high school basement floor, then maybe make it more clear which is which, because I thought that thing was the First. So Just for lack of clarity, I'm giving this episode 4 out of 10 tubes of toothpaste.
Yeah, see, now when the Uber Vamp came out, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that was awesome in this episode. But I think it's because I know what comes later.
Yeah.
That's what spurred that excitement about it. But yeah, I watched this episode 3 weeks ago, and then when I had to watch it like yesterday, I was like, oh crap, I gotta watch this episode again.
Yeah.
It's so filler, and it's so nothing. I give it 5 out of 10 weird beards.
Nice. That's what we thought. Feel free to let us know what you think, dear listeners. You can call us at 270-40-BUFFY. You can send us an email at
PotentialCast. That's PotentialCast@gmail.com.
Correct. You can follow us on Twitter at PotentialCast. You can go to PotentialCast.com, download every single episode we've ever done. And obviously the fun times, the spoiler-free fun times are on the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/PotentialCast. It is quote time. And Karen, guest, you may go first.
Oh, so now do I be nice and not steal your quote?
No, you're supposed to say whatever you want to say. You've been waiting 15 minutes to get on this show.
All right. This is a butcher shop, Neo. We don't sell toothpaste.
That made me laugh. It is the only reason this episode didn't get a 2.
Now, what made me laugh was, ooh, steak sauce. That was so surprising.
I guess just the other stuff then.
Yeah. Steak. Steph, was that yours? Steph, do you have a real quote, or was that it?
I fell in love with a beautiful vampire girl down in Mexico. Now we're trying to make a go of it on the straight and narrow and put our lives back together here in Sunnydale.
Amazing.
That was funny.
That was good. Kim?
I don't know why this line made me laugh hysterically, but it's you'll get nothing out of me, Carpenter.
Awesome. Gabby?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at quotes right now because nothing really jumped out at me.
Well, then I can go.
Yes, thank you.
I think her exact words were, I've got stuff coming out of both ends.
Okay. I'm not going to go with funny, but it's the first one that jumped out at me reading them. You'll have to excuse the spectacle, but I've always been a bit of a sucker for the old classics. Wow. Poor Spike.
Whatever.
The weasel wants to sing, he just needs a tune. That was so... Anya, because Emma Caulfield is so funny, she made that work, but it's so quirky and weird that it's not funny. On one hand, she makes it funny. On the other hand, it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Mind blown.
Steph, what's on the slate for next time?
Sorry, have sex with Spike.
When did Andrew see that happen?
They had the security
the security camera.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay.
I thought that was like a little. Sorry. Never mind.
That's fine. Kim, go ahead.
Important.
Okay.
I thought it was a little nod of the cap to Allison Hannigan being in American Pie, right? Was that it? This one time?
Oh, this one time?
At band camp? That's what I thought, anyway.
That's funny.
It probably is. Next week, Bring on the Night.
Bring on the Night.
Which is a police song?
I think so, yeah. Karen, thank you for joining us. Thank you also for putting up with our scheduling and rescheduling. We really appreciate your patience. Do you have a podcast or something you want people to know about?
I do not. This is my first attempt at a podcast.
What? Very well. You did not remain silent and play live listener.
Thank you.
Which happens sometimes and is understandable, but is always very funny. All right, you guys. Listen, YouTube viewers, thanks for watching. Whether you're doing so live or from the future, thanks. And we're going to be back very soon with another episode. I'm going to stop the broadcast and maybe play a song here. Okay, goodbye.
Yay. Later.
Kim, you have to say your thing.
Namaste.